It's time for Ralph's house.
Good morning from Ralph's house. I don't know if you can hear the wind, but it's pretty windy out there. Yes, today is going to be a spring clean, mainly so I can get ready for putting the paper on the walls. And I need to get the front bedroom clear of dust, all the floor hoovered, swept, and preferably mopped, because that easily picks up the last of the dust. But in the meantime, yeah, a lot of untidy cables there. These are all the cables from upstairs and lighting circuits and stuff, and originally they were all clipped under the stairs. Not a great way to do it, so I'm going to pick up some 50mm trunking, some white, white trunking. It's quite wide. It'll take all of those cables, bring them down to the consuming unit and across the top. That's the plan. So I'm off to tool station this morning to go and get a length of that. Be very interesting, because my car will only hold 2 metre lengths inside with the boot shut, and this is in 3 metre lengths. So I'm going to be taking a hacksaw with me. It shouldn't be too much of a problem cutting a metre off. I can still use it all. So off to tool station. My car is starting to look like a builder's van. Hacksaw. I'm going to need that to cut the length of, well, at least cut a metre off to be able to get it in here. This will be fun. Right, so off to tool station. I imagine on very quiet roads. There we go. Gives you an idea of the stuff. It's quite chunky stuff. 50mm trunking. And the idea is I can tidy up all the cables under the stairs. And yes, I had to cut about, well, just under a metre off it. I think it's about, I think this car holds about 2.5 metres, so it's not too bad. And that little bit I cut out shouldn't make too much difference. Tool station, they've got like a regime where you have to sort of stand outside and quote your order reference number, because the only way you can get goods from tool station at the moment is to order it online, wait until your order's in, they'll send you a text, and then you just turn up, quote the last 4 digits of your order number, and wait for them to put it on the counter, and you step back, and then when they put it on the counter, you step forward and get it, and that's kind of how it is. But like always, you know, and I haven't been out at all, to be honest, but if I do go out, I'm very, very conscious of my hands. They don't go anywhere near my face when I'm out, and as soon as I get back, I wash my hands and I wash everything else. So far, 54 cases in Coventry, which is a relatively low number compared to places like London and Birmingham. Cases in Birmingham are growing, apparently. Anyway, I'm not going to dwell on that one, but what we'll do is we'll get back to the house and offload this trunking. That'll be a good start for today, I think. I've got to say, this is incredibly quiet. And like everywhere across the country, there's not much that's open. But that's the way it is, isn't it, folks? Anyway, back to the house. Yes, I have to say, I've been after this 50mm trunking for weeks, because I just can't tidy the cables up under the stairs, you know, without this stuff. Very important. You know, screw that to the wall, and then this bit closes on the outside. Well, I'm sure you've seen what trunking's like, but that's what it is. Anyway, so I've got enough of that now to finish that job. I'm going to go home, get myself some breakfast, promised myself a bacon sandwich this morning, and I think the lad will agree. And because I'm papering tomorrow, I noticed on one of the videos that I've got a couple of little cracks there that hadn't been filled with caulking, so I've got those sealed. Well, I'm just basically going to go round and check that there's nothing that I need to look at prior to putting the paper on. Yeah, you see there's one there, although that's not going to stop me papering it. But yeah, I think I've got all these gaps now. That's plenty flat enough now. Yeah. Yeah, I don't feel any bump there at all, really, so yeah, lining paper will go straight over that. You won't see that. And because I still don't have a pendant fitting in this room, but I can fit that even after the paper's gone in, so that's good. Yeah, otherwise, yes, it's all looking good. Then when it's all papered, I can get all this painted white, I can get that painted cream along with the rest of the ceiling. So yeah, tomorrow's going to be a papering day. Should be a bit of fun. I've got to be quite organised in here. I don't have a decorator's plank, but what I will have is a nice row of chairs that I can go across, which will, you know, as long as I'm careful on my footing, that's going to be more than good enough to paper with. The walls are, well, I think they're all painted now. I don't think there's any, this odd, vague, I don't know, the camera will pick it up, but it looks to me like it still needs a bit of paint in that area. So I'll perhaps go around, give it another coat round, and you know, and then paint the ceiling once all the paper's dried, which I imagine will be at least 2 or 3 days after I've fixed it all to the ceiling. And unfortunately, I can't really, I will try, but I can't really video myself papering the ceiling. But we'll see what we can do, and may be able to, because what I'm actually using, I'm not using a video camera, I'm using a Samsung S7 phone. And the lens on this isn't too bad, it's pretty good. And I did buy a clamp that I could clip to a table, which lasted all of 3 minutes. Absolute rubbish it was. So I think, you know, I'll resort to a G clamp and see if I can fix it that way. We'll come back in the morning and we'll start pasting long sheets of paper. Yes, it's Tuesday. Still haven't got on with the papering yet, but we're going to be prepping for that today and make sure the room's clear so I can get across and stick all the paper. But these arrived. Look, doorknobs. I think possibly that is the only original knob in the entire house. It's the only one that's complete anyway, and I have not a hope of finding those unless I can find a wood turner that could make me loads of them. But not the easiest thing in the world to do, is it? You know, you've got to have a square hole in it, and yeah, they'd be difficult, wouldn't they? So instead I'm going to use these, and they've got the round plates to go with them. They've even got a keyhole cover, which doesn't apply in the case of this door. But yes, I thought we'll change that and we'll see how it looks, shall we? Yeah, just the job. And of course it doesn't need the plate on that side, and there's a little bit of slack in it, so I could probably make that up with a washer each side just to make sure that fits nice and smooth, and also put the screws on the bottom, I think, probably. But yeah, that'll do the job. And I was right, black knobs on a white door looks much better. Well, I still haven't got onto the papering yet, just little things that hold you up, like the paint on this windowsill. All it needed was a flat down, but it had crazed, if you know what I mean. So I've given it a really good rub down. I've given it a coat of primer undercoat, and I will let that go off, and tomorrow or a couple of days I'll give that another rub down and then give it another coat of primer and see. But what concerns me is this. Can you see that? It's some kind of sealant when the windows were put in that has now gone very dry. See how it's come up right there? Now it will shift with a true edge scraper. It does move, it does come off, but I'm not keen on doing it that way because I'm sort of mindful that I don't scratch the surface. Do you know what I mean? But I did read, or actually I might have seen it on the Painter and Decorator channel on YouTube, which is often useful. They do a stuff called UPVC solvent cleaner, and I think that's what I need to get this off. Although, you know, I don't know. I mean, it could just be paint, I suppose. It could be emulsion. But if it is very sloppy emulsion painting, if it is, I mean, crikey, who'd paint like that? Yeah, so I'm mindful to get that off. And also, this edge, where it joined the window, all the plastering here was loose and falling out. And I had to re-plaster that. Didn't do too bad a job, but I've got areas here like where I've got a bit of excess plastering there that needs scraping off, and some old sealant here, bits and pieces. That one's cutting back. And really I ought to be doing that before I do any papering, because ultimately I'm going to paper this wall. That to me is not clean. It's a right mess, isn't it? Yeah, my sister would throw her hands up in horror. Yeah, so anyway, but I'm going to let that primer go off. Get my pasting table ready, because I'm going to have to do very long sheets, a couple of very long sheets. That's quite a long run. I've got 4 rolls, that should be enough to do that, and around here I should think. So my plan is to make a whole day of that tomorrow. My day was somewhat delayed by the fact that I finally had to go shopping. I was getting to the point where I was using whatever was left in the cupboard, so I thought I'd better go. Shot out to Aldi, pulled into the car park and saw there was a queue of trolleys going right across. I thought, no. So I drove straight out and went to Tesco's. Well, I never go to Tesco's. They're too expensive, you know. Well, I think when you've been shopping in Aldi a while, you notice the difference. It's about 1/3 off your shopping bill going in Aldi. Big difference. So I had to go to Tesco's, and also I had to kind of think 2 weeks, which I never shop like that, you know. So I had to fill my trolley. But I'm pretty good on weights and prices, and I'm not swayed by offers or anything. I don't see any of that. I just look for what I'm looking for. Anyway, I filled the trolley, enough for 2 weeks, 40 quid. Bargain, eh? The only thing is, which I normally buy, long life milk, can't get it. Everybody jumps on it as soon as it appears. So, you know, you have to live with the fresh milk. I do have some dried skim milk if the last resort, and plenty of jars of instant tea that my father left after he died. Not the greatest, that QT tea, but you know, it'll get you by. Right, so I'm digressing here. So let's get a bit swept. Well, let's get swept up and clear everything out of the way, because I want to be in a position tomorrow where I can just move across this room without tripping over stuff. I also need to clear my other table. This is right for pasting, but I need another table to lay my pasted sheets of paper in a pile, because you have to wait 10 minutes for each one for the paste to soak into it. So I might as well get 2 or 3 strips in front at least, and then so I'll need another table to put them on once they're pasted, you know, and all folded up. So right, let's get cleaned up. Right, there we go, all ready for tomorrow. Got my wallpaper paste, got a bucket, and tomorrow I shall put some slightly soapy water in that and a cloth so I can wipe down things that got wallpaper paste on them. I've got a few chairs, I've got a couple more, enough to go across this room, because I'm not using planks, but they're fine. I've stood on before. Paste table, ready to put my length of paper on. Of course, obviously the paper here is pretty long, but I'll be folding that concertina fashion. I will try and video as much as I can, but this is not an instructional channel. It's really just seeing how Ralph gets on with his house. And I like the comments, and I like the little intros that people keep sending in. Please do keep doing those. They're just so much fun. It doesn't matter what you do, just have a bit of fun with it. And as long as you finish with "Welcome to Ralph's house," or "I haven't got time for that, it's time for Ralph's house." As long as you finish with Ralph's house, that's it. I should probably use it on the intro. I haven't rejected any so far. They've all been so good. Yes. So, yes. Thumbs up, thumbs down, leave a comment, and we'll see you in the morning, and we'll start papering that. Oh, and don't forget to subscribe.